Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, for nerds, by nerds, hanging out with this nerd.
I'm Ted.
And today we have a viewer question from Jimbo. Wants to know the best RPG system to start new players with.
If you have a viewer suggestion or a GM 911, you can send it to nerdarchy@gmail.com.
So, with that, it's kind of a loaded question, right? Right off the bat, the first thing I would say is you want to stay away from crunch-heavy systems.
I would indeed go with that, but I think the most important thing to look at is what kind of game do they want to play.
Well, that's true, but... So here's the thing, right? And like we get this all the time when we talk about other things. There's at least always one person that will be like, just run it with 5e. And we're like, well, 5e sucks for some things. You know, just D&D type games in general suck for certain kinds of games. And it doesn't mean it's a bad system. It means it's designed to do a specific thing, and once you get, the further away from that specific thing you get, the more difficult it is going to be to mash everything up, and eventually you're doing so much work, you could have just went to another system.
Right. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. But what I was saying is like, what kind of mood are they into? D&D is really good for fantasy games, and they've got, you know, the Unearthed Arcana for playing modern, but you know, some modern themes are not going to fit into the D&D modern setting. So with zero exposure for two players and other players who have little exposure to tabletop role-playing games, you want to know what kind of theme are they interested in playing. Now, the Fate system is very simplistic in regards to the dice that you need and the rules that you have to learn. So it's a system that's designed to be able to incorporate a lot of different things.
So with that, you have Fate Accelerated and you have Fate Core, right?
Right. So if you're starting off, go Fate Accelerated. It trims down some of those simple rules out, and you go with just a thing. And I believe you can get the PDF for free online.
Yeah, I believe so too. And then if you want to add a little bit more to it, there's Fate Core, which basically can kind of like tailor things. Also, the Cipher system, which we're about to start messing with ourselves, is actually a really simplistic system as well. It's really easy to use. Literally, you build most of your character with one sentence.
Absolutely.
It's It's a adjective, noun, and verb.
Right.
That combined with one of the archetype classes. So you know, there's not a whole lot. That actually, like, right now, if I had to go to a game and I wanted something to give to players that are new and I know I can run anything in it, I would go Cipher system.
Because the Cipher system, you know, the rules that we've looked at, they have modern, they have fantasy, they have futuristic, so you can
superhero, all the genres.
So you've got a nice open system right there. You have less stats than Fate or Fate Accelerated, but there is more involved in creating a character in the Cipher system. So it might actually push people away if they're not. It could be intimidating, even though it's easy to do. There's a lot of choices. Whereas Fate Accelerated has that similar I'm a this, but it's far more open-ended and putting in, I believe it's those 6 or 7 stats just in order. Okay, this is what I am.
Yeah, but I would argue in Fate you actually have to make up those sentences that define your character.
That's true.
Which might be more daunting to a new player, and like there's a whole skill set involved with that. That has to be developed. Where you're right, like Cipher system has more choices, but it's literally picking from a menu.
There is that as well. So I think those are our top 2 suggestions
for new RPGs.
For new RPGs, Cipher system.
I want to throw something else out there too. Savage Worlds, although I haven't played it, I've heard good things about it, is another system where you can run almost any game in. I don't know how crunch heavy that is. Mutants and Masterminds, another good system. You can run anything in. That is crunch heavy.
Yes, it is. It is incredibly open ended. I loved Mutants and Masterminds. We played it in for a long time. We played a modern game. We played many superhero sessions. Fantastic system, but it is daunting if you don't know the rules. There's a lot to learn. but anything is literally possible.
The plus side, though, is it is rather front-end loaded. So, like, once you've made your character, you've done the hardest part.
Yes.
Everything from there on, like, only the DM really needs to know how to run that game.
Right.
Because it's like, what do you roll? A D20.
Yes.
You know,
That's it.
You know, if you're,
I want to do something. Roll a d20. You know.
yeah, so, you know, if you're familiar with the D20 system, it becomes really easy to use. But if you have new players, like I said, Fate Accelerated and Cypher System are probably our top 2 picks.
And I agree. For those of you out there, if you have any suggestions for Jimbo as to what system he should run or whatnot, put it in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, even subscribe.
Check us out at nerdarchy.com.
So until next time, stay nerdy.